Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 2/14/2024. And yes, it's another new comic book day. Here we are once again, and this list is ever growing. This list is ever growing. Seriously, the next few weeks, it seems like I'm adding more and more titles, seemingly because more titles are being added to the ongoing season's list. What? No, what I really mean by that is I just noticed it. Well, yeah, as you'll see, there's certain number ones that are coming out, and as it seems, when it comes to that springtime, more stuff comes out, and it's that time again. So, hey, before I get into it, I want to say, hey, Las Cruces, hope you're doing well. Hope your doctor's appointment went good, and yeah, yo, Jags, how you be? I appreciate you hanging out with me on the last show, and you were a great contribution to the show. If those of you that do not know what the hell I'm talking about, you will see a new show content that I put out there, and highly recommend that you check it out because I'm going to need your contribution and your help to make the show a success. Now, to move on from that, we're going to go ahead and talk about this week's most anticipated reads for me, New Comic Book Day on the 2/14/2024. Starting off with Penthouse. That's right. Penthouse Magazine is reissuing the comics in which that they used to do it in kind of a slightly different format, but we're still going to see some of the risque aspects and what we all grown to love. Did I just say grown in that? And what I mean by that is at the end of the book itself, there's some risque, pictures that are there to kind of bring us back to yore and to yank it once. I guess you have to unfold it. Did I just say yank too? So moving out from Penthouse issue number 1, we're going to talk about Dark Horse. Usagi Yojimbo, Ice and Snow, issue number 5 of 5. This completes the storyline, and I just truly love these reissues. They give us some color that we never got before, and it just brings a vibrance and seemingly a depth to a story otherwise that is always was great story, literature, and in it and of its own. But now that we go ahead and get some deeper reflection in the art, it just makes my heart to sing. So that's why from Dark Horse, Usagi Yojimbo issue number 5 of Ice and Snow comes out tomorrow. Now, moving out from the Dark Horse side, we're going to go over to Marvel, and we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue number 43. Now, this is getting close to wrapping up with the gang war. This gang war stuff is getting rather heated, and look, if you've never read the old gang war and you're new introduction to what this whole storyline is, you, like me, you're probably enjoying it. If you're really stuck on what this nostalgic tale is supposed to touch on, and you really believe in that it was supposed to be as big and grandiose or spec heavy or whatever, then you might be disappointed. I'm just saying, personally, I'm digging it. I really think this is a cool story. I really think this is allowing certain characters to reintroduce themselves in a way of working together that we haven't seen since we go ahead and put these big saga stuff together, and then we have to spend millions of dollars to piece all these issues together to even get some type of semblance of what the fuck's going on. I like the fact that we don't have to do that. Seriously. I just got it right there on the whole Amazing Spider-Man, and it's only crossing over to a couple other things. It's beautiful. So that's why issue number 43 is pretty big to me. Moving out from the Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 43, we're going to talk over about Blade, issue number 8. I remember first talking to Brian Hill about the story when he first introduced me, and I first was speaking to him about Blade and how he was going to take this character into the direction. Now that we had an introduction of some family members that actually put him at risk like we'd never seen before. He's actually somewhat vulnerable because family members now can be utilized against him. More importantly, his daughter. Now, that being stated, we're actually seeing the integration of his daughter and more of a direction, in my opinion, that we've never seen Blade go before. This has also been in a way probably one of the best ongoing series newly added by Marvel in a long time. This is really well written. Every issue is solid. Every issue allows you to go ahead and anticipate the next issue after. And it really brings depth to not only character, but to the surrounding environment that this character is involved in. I'm digging it. Can you tell? Seriously. So that's why Blade issue number 8 is pretty big for me. Now, you also notice that I mentioned his name. The reason why is he's also the same writer that brings us Ultimate Black Panther. So there is a writing style that's not only unique to his, but he does a lot of storyboarding. He is in movies. He does write for that. So that's why, in my opinion, his writing style is rather unique, and it's easy to read, and it's very tangible and easy to grab for an artist to be able to interpret. So that's why these books come across so well. Just saying. Moving up from Blade, issue number 8. I know I was trying to move there before, but we're going to talk about Miles Morales, issue number 16. This is another one. This is a beautifully written, awesome ongoing series. Much like I just made mention of Blade, this one just really allows an individual to really feel that they're getting entertained not only by the literature but by the art. Not just entertained, I guess, but you're also somewhat absorbed into the storyline. It's really easy to go ahead and lose yourself into these stories because they're so well written. And the art, it is really truly reflecting the storyline. So that's why Miles Morales, issue number 16 and 15 and 14 and every issue before it has been on one of my most anticipated reads. Moving out from that, we're going to talk about Night Thrasher, issue number 1. Now, I end up meeting John Holtham over at well, actually, over at the Grammys, and then I ended up seeing him over at a signing event in North Hollywood. And he and I have just been kind of crossing paths a lot. I told him I was going to end up seeing him tomorrow over at a signing event. And I am so looking forward to not only seeing this reintroduction of this character, but I'm looking forward to see another person's interpretation of a modern era that's taken a hold of a character from the 90s and see how they interpret this character. What I really like about this character is this character embraces really no significant superpowers whatsoever. It's another naturally just vigilante individual that just wants to go out there and do the right. And I really like this character. I have the stuff from the 90s. So I am so looking forward for this book to come out and to have a nice long conversation about the development of this. And that hopefully will be part of another show that I'll end up doing down the road, which will be this week's signed books. Just saying. Moving out from Night Thrasher, issue number 1, we're going to talk about Spider-Gwen Smash, issue 3. I was trying to stay away from the Spider-Gwen stuff. Not that I dislike it. It's just that I'm just got too much on my list, and I couldn't stay away. I tried. I end up seeing the stuff on the shelf. I end up kind of flipping through it. I end up liking it, purchase it, issue number 1, turning issue number 2, and here we are with issue number 3, becoming one of my most anticipated reads. I'm just saying. It would really, truly turn out to be a really well-written story. It's one of those that once I started, I really couldn't put back down. So that's why now every freaking month, I'm picking up this book until issue number 5. It's got me hooked. I'm just saying. So Spider-Gwen Smash, issue number 3, coming out tomorrow, 2/14/2024. Moving on to the last book from Marvel, we're going to talk about Superior Spider-Man, issue number 4. This is the battle that we want to see mentally. We're going to end up getting a mental breakdown, war, whatever you want to call it, with Peter Parker and Doc Ock. They're fighting for who's going to take supremacy over Superior Spider-Man. And essentially, that's what we're getting out of this book. This has been a whole mental anguishy thing going on, and it's been allowing us to further understand what's been transpiring and some of the other stuff that's been happening with Spider-Man and the old Superior Spider-Man stuff, along with what ended up happening with how Spider-Man was treating even Spider-Boy and a lot of stuff that's been going on. It's kind of a cool background story to allow us to see what's been going on with almost like a supporting story to see what's going on in this whole Marvel universe surrounding Peter Parker. It's kind of the way I've been interpreting it. But hey, moving out from that one, Superior Spider-Man issue number 4, we're going to talk about Scout Comics, Lipstick Clicka issue number 2 in more particular. This follows up issue number 1, obviously, and we'll end with issue number 3. And this is supporting the whole Cadillacs world. I can't remember what it's called. Something of the Cadillacs. I lost my mind. The beauty about this story is, like I said, it's supporting a world that's being built, and I believe it's being optioned by Netflix. And Kaden Phoenix is doing a great job at this. She's allowing this to be a further platform for future books that are going to be coming out. I think it's in May, maybe being pushed as far as June. with, I believe, 3 other titles coming at the time. I hadn't had the ability to verify all this information. I just know that all this stuff is happening, just can't verify when. And I really have been looking forward to this world for a while. It's been taking a while to come out, and now that it's here, I can't wait not only to read this book in particular after issue number 1 I've already read, but I'm also looking for the further development of this actual world. This place is cool. It's real. It's harsh. It's gritty. It's awesome. Just saying. Lipstick Clicker, issue number 2, out of Scout Comics. Moving out from that, we're going to talk over Vault Comics. Barbaric is back. Let me say that again. Barbaric, Burning Blood, issue number 1, is here. Tomorrow, 2/14/2024. Soren is back, wielding his buddy Owen the Axe, and we're going to get some hardcore storyline with some new storyline that I've been anticipating for a while. I've been missing the old barbaric story stuff. So now that we're going to get Burning Blood issue number 1, you can believe how much I'm dying to sink my axe into it. I just had to. So I'm just saying, I am so stoked. I can't wait. There's nothing better than a bloodthirsty axe. It's bloodthirsty barbarians are a dime a dozen. Come on. Moving out from Vault, talking about the Barbaric Burning Blood issue number 1. We're going to talk over at the DC side. One and only book that I'm getting. And this is probably the first DC book that I've gotten in months. So this is actually rather significant to me. I was even trying not to pick this up, but the more and more I keep reading in this, the more and more I'm actually really enticed. Seriously, Sinister Sons issue number 1 looks like to be a rather different book. This is a book that seems like it's gonna be unique. I did only get to see art. I haven't got to see any. So because of that, and I was privy to a lot, I purposely am trying to stay. That was like about a week ago. I've been purposely trying to stay away from stuff. Why? I really have been anticipating not knowing what this is about to give me a fresh new look. I've been rather tainted by the taste of DC. Just saying. Yeah. So the Sinister Sons, I'm hoping will go ahead and cleanse that palette. Should be awesome. Moving out from that, Sinister Sons issue number 1, we're going to talk over at Image, The Cabinet. Now, this is a very unique story. I'm looking forward to this more, to talk to Mr. Gordon Hart about this. I'm going to end up seeing him tomorrow as another individual. Tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll end up seeing 3 people, and then tomorrow night, hopefully 1, if all the stars line up. So I'm looking forward to actually talking not only the development of this, but kind of background. It seems very metaphorical to something. I want to get to, I guess, before I get too far into the story, have an understanding and hint to the direction of the metaphor that it's supposed to represent, if any, if that makes sense. Because this seems like a pretty deep story. I really like the art. It seemed really unique. The palettes seem really earthy. So I'm just looking forward to checking this out. I've really been really limited to my exposure to this. So I'm dying to get into that. But moving out from the cabinet, we're going to talk over to Creep Show issue number 1. Why? This is the first story we got from Joe Hill in a while. I mean, what the hell? Where did he go? He kind of just poof, and now he's like, poof. So I'm looking forward to him poofing back with the issue cover B. For me, issue number 1 cover B looks like the one I'm really. I already pre-ordered that. I will get a cover A just so I can read. This seems like the Creep Show that I'm looking for, because I dig Joe Hill style, and since I haven't been able to get any DC Black Label and the Hill taste, it seems like this is the only way I'm going to get it. So I can't wait. So again, Creep Show issue number 1 by Joe Hill coming out tomorrow. Moving out from the Creep Show, we're going to talk about the Infernos. I told you it was on the list. The Infernos is co-written by both Ryan Parrott and Noah Gardner. Now, these guys I also will be seeing tomorrow at another signing event. And I'm looking forward to talking to these guys on their collaboration onto this. This is a story of the devil, I believe, has a son, and into that has to go ahead and delegate who's going to take over the operation once the son basically goes away. So you have 3 individuals that are really not necessarily perfect for the position and have their own agendas at mind. And we're talking demons. So, like any other way, there's supposed to be a balance. And the last thing that they want is for probably having to take over. This is unique. So I'm looking forward to not only talking to Ryan, but I'm looking forward to talking to Noah about how fun this must have been for those two to write. And I think it's a 5-issue mini. Where is it going to lead, if anywhere, after this? Because this can't be it. Seems like a whole big setup for something more. So I'm looking forward to the Infernos issue number 1. Now, this was a difficult list to a decision for me on these last two. I flipped, I flopped the flip, and then I even X the X, and then X the X, and just I couldn't make up my mind. So look, it could have been either one. It just so happened because of one was longer in the gap that it went in this list. Without further milking this cow, without lilying this tulip. The last on the image list is Transformers issue number 5. Almost made my blue light special. This book is freaking awesome. This Aragon universe is, oh my God. The further they develop it, the more I get engrossed, and the more I do so, the more I'm just anticipating the next read. Duke, G.I. Joe. I mean, we got Void Rivals, we got Transformers. I mean, what is it? Cobra Commander. I can't wait for something else to come out of this. I used to complain about all these different little branches of the universe that you would have to read to make this thing up. But when they're as good as read as these are, shit, take my money. So Transformers issue number 5 is like way up there on my most anticipated reads. It was so difficult to make this decision, but hey, my blue light special for this week. Oh my God, I didn't have it ready. Is Added Dynamite Comics. Sweetie Candy, Vigilante, Volume 2, issue number 1. Oh my God. Sweetie, I'm yours. Please take me. Take me. Sweetie Candy Vigilante is the daughter of the Candyman. This chick is awesome. The way she likes to go ahead and take her revenge and make sure that right is definitely on the right side and wrong is definitely wrong the right way is so freaking cool. I can't get enough. The what she does by impaling evil villains with, like, I don't know, candy canes and will shove cinnamon sticks in people's faces till they melt, or whatever she ends up doing in the most sweetest and most horrific way is so freaking cool. I can't get enough. When the series ended after the initial volume, I was bummed because I didn't see anything in the horizon for months. When I saw the release of this book, 3 months ago, I was just salivating and throwing sugar up in the air in celebration. This pixie stick filled joy of death is just so freaking awesome. I can't get enough. Well, again, that's why it's my most anticipated read for tomorrow, my blue light special. Truly. Sweetie Candy Vigilante Volume 2, issue number 1. If you haven't read Volume 1, highly recommend. And that's it for me. Entropy.